Hi, Neil Trotter, Mayor of Corangamite Shire. Just reporting on our last council meeting, which was held Tuesday night. It was a pretty full program. There are a number of items from the council meeting that I'd like to discuss. One of the points at the council meeting we were discussing was the trail management policy. This is a revision of previous policy, and it's we're looking to update the way we deal with trails within the Shire. There are a number of individual groups that are supporting these trails. We want to give extra support to those groups so that they're being more effective in what they do. And we'd like to see a more coordinated approach so that those trails are maintained to specific standards. Would hope that this will also lead to increases in funding in future budgets so that we can support these trails. And it fits in nicely with our health and wellbeing policy to get people out and about and moving. The next item I'd like to talk about is the Shire's rural living strategy. This is a planning policy document, and it's looking at the way we approve planning applications for rural areas. We're looking at concentrating our rural living zones around towns so that we can make better use of the infrastructure that's in place within those towns. We recognise that there's a big demand for rural living type properties within the area, and there's a lot of people seeking acreages of about between 1 to 5 acres or 10 acres. So we're looking to protect the right to farm for people on farms, and to stop incursions from people that are moving into the areas next to those farms that may influence their ability to function. Another of the items we had on our agenda was the Mount Neerat Management Plan. This is a draft document. It'll be coming out for public comment. There's been a lot of work gone into this by the committee, and it recognises the wonderful legacy that has been given to us by the Black family in donating that land. We needed a management committee to look after that. They've been very proactive in getting this draft plan up. We would welcome comment from the community. These comments can be made formally in an application, or you can do them online on our website. Another item that we had on our agenda was a motion by Councillor Illingsworth that we send a letter to the Premier of Victoria and the Opposition Shadow Minister for Police and Emergency Services, highlighting the negative impacts caused by the recent decline in emergency service volunteer numbers, and particularly in some of our smaller communities like Port Campbell and Princetown, Wirragul, those areas where we have a number of volunteers going out doing a lot of work. It's having an impact on those volunteers on the time that they're spending away from their families. It's also the trauma of this can be quite debilitating on those people. Recognition that of the demands that are placed on volunteers, and it is affecting the number of volunteers that we're being able to attract to those positions. This is a starting point again that we're trying to bring attention to this and see if we can find a resolution to it. And also during this week, the state budget was handed down. There are pluses and minuses for us in this as well. Some of the pluses were that the city deal has locked in $37 million in the next financial year to begin work on the Port Campbell National Park Management Plan. We've been advocating for this for quite some time. It's great to see this come to fruition with both the state and federal government signing off on it. In the health area, a really welcome one is free dental care for state school students. This used to be the case many, many years ago, especially when I was in school. I can always remember the dental van coming along, and it's been missing for a number of years with resultant dental problems for kids in this area. Some of the negatives that come out of the budget was RDV, which we depended on for a lot of our funding, has been cut. And roads is another one where we've probably missed out. There's been no match funding for the Princess Highway. The federal government have offered in excess of $60 million, providing that the state come up with $20 million, and the state have indicated that they're not prepared to do that. So we're pretty disappointed that for a relatively small spend of money of about $20 million for the state, that we're not going to get an injection of $60 million. So, you know, it's probably going to mean that it's going to be a $100 million shortfall overall going into roads, and that's pretty disappointing.